Okay, here we are, week 4, and this week should be a fairly easy week for you. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to prepare your final project and make up any work that you have to or want to make up. The first and most important thing for me to tell you about week 4's assessment. Oh, there's no discussion this week. There's just the assessment, and then there's this quiz, which is a 5-question quiz, career integration. And I will talk more about that in a minute. But take a look here. For your final assessment, what they want you to do, or what you should be doing, is taking a look at, hi Carolyn, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Sweeney. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, great.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I lost my video. Well, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to close it off anyway.
Okay.
Can you see me, or are you seeing Carolyn?
No, I see you at the top.
Oh, you see me?
Yeah.
All right. Don't I look great?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to shut it down then anyway. So how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. What I'm going to do, we have 2 nights of courses left. I know tomorrow is the 4th, and you may or may not want to come in tomorrow night, but I've decided that I'm going to sacrifice 2 hours tomorrow night at this time to do our last session, because I don't want to wait until later in the week to do it, and I can't do it Wednesday.
Right.
Except I could do it earlier in the day. I'm going to do it tomorrow night. So if nobody shows up tomorrow night, if you're not able to come tomorrow night, that's fine. I'm going to record and I'm going to do a lesson tomorrow night.
I should be able to be here.
Great. Okay. It's always much better when I got somebody here, because when I do things, you have the opportunity to, say things, make comments, ask questions, do all this stuff.
Right. I'm a little bit tired tonight, so I may not be very, I'm trying though.
Yeah, that's fine. Just do the best you can. It's not a problem at all. All right. So basically, we're talking about our final project. The final project will be the 3D rendering of your CD packages. So my question for you is, did I give you any critiques on yours?
No, not on my CD. Well, you helped me with my CD package on Saturday night.
Okay, but I do have critiques on it, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit later.
Right, okay.
And the critique is not, in your particular case, the critique is not a critique of the form or the content, really. The problem that I had with yours, and I'm going to explain the whole thing to you later on, is that there are 2 things that you didn't do. You didn't create outlines for your type, and you didn't embed your
Oh, yeah. And I know how to do outlines.
Okay, but you also need to embed the graphics. Do you know that?
That I don't remember how to do that, but I do know how to do the other part.
I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to show you where to go to embed your graphics. And I'm also going to show you what the problem is. The problem is that, and again, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to show you that later on, because I got other things to do. So the bottom line is, for you at this point, go back and do anything that you want to improve to try to improve your grade so that you could submit, and or just concentrate on getting your DVD 3D mock-up done. And what I'm going to probably do tonight is I'm going to do most of the critiquing tonight on you and the other student. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to do a complete review of how to do the 3D boxes.
Yeah, and I had a little, I just need a little insight on the assessment this past week.
Last week's assessment?
Well, this past weekend, the assessment that was due,
What about it?
I'm just not sure what to do with it. I'm just really
Oh,
exhausted with all the stuff I'm going through, and I can't think.
hold on. Let me take a look at what it is. So last week's assessment. Oh, I know what it is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
Week 3 assessment right there. Okay, so what it wants you to do, right? So the week 3 assessment, before you can map your artwork onto the DVD box, every single piece of art that you want to map onto the 3D object has to be defined as a flattened symbol in advance. The artwork on the face of the DVD has to be a symbol. The spine has to be another symbol. And the artwork that represents the top of the DVD, in your case, or the back, if you choose to do it, also needs to be a symbol as well. So basically, all you really have to do for this assessment is, and I'm not sure, I think you might have already done this. All you have to do is submit. Yes, you did it, but there's a problem with yours for me.
Okay.
Not for you, but for me. And I'm going to have you correct that problem because this is something that you need to know for, you're not ready to graduate yet, are you?
No.
No, you still got more class to take.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the bottom line is this. You need to know that when you submit artwork to any instructor in the form of Adobe Illustrator, it's essential that you create outlines for the type. And I'll tell you why.
Well, like I said, yeah, the outlines, I totally know all about them, and
do you know why you're doing it?
I wasn't thinking.
Okay.
I'm just a
Do
lot.
you know why you're doing it though?
Yeah, because nobody's going to be able to know what font you use if they don't have the same font on their computer system.
That's correct. That's what it really comes down to. So
Yeah.
when you sent it to me because you didn't do it, now here's the problem. The problem is when you open it up in Adobe PDF, as a PDF, it opens fine because PDF has the ability to embed enough of the font to display them. The problem is when you go back to Adobe Illustrator works completely differently. It doesn't embed any font. What it does is it links to the font. And when it opens up in Illustrator, it's going to go onto my computer, into my type library, looking for that font, and it's going to come back saying, hey, I can't find the font, and then I have to substitute something.
Well, I'll resubmit it after I fix that. So
yeah, and again, I've graded you. I don't think I.
not on the assessment. I haven't been graded yet.
Okay.
So I'll turn that in between now and tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. And let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, the other thing is that you had those logos. Those logos on your piece. The elements, the graphic elements that you.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, the problem with them is you linked to them and you didn't embed them. And when you don't embed them, again, my computer opens that file up as an Adobe Illustrator file. It looks on my computer to find the place where those images are linked from, and it doesn't find them, so it can't display them.
Right.
So there's a way that you can embed images like that into your file.
And I do apologize if you showed that.
Listen, what am I here? I'm here to teach you this stuff.
Right.
You don't have to apologize. This is my job to teach you. You might not know this. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't know it, but if you had showed us in the last couple of weeks, I missed it.
I forgot to show you. That's the problem. I didn't show you that. So it's my fault, really, for assuming that you knew something you didn't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
I've never heard about the embedding before. That's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's just that you got to think to be able to do that when you're submitting stuff. Illustrator adds things by virtue of links usually.
Okay.
So that's what you want to do. All right. So for your assessment, week 3 assessment, all it's asking you to do is to take your artwork and rasterize it and turn it into symbols. And I mentioned rasterizing it because we had discussions about this week before. Remember when I made my graphic images?
Yes.
I had a real hard time turning them into symbols.
Yeah.
Remember? It took a real long time, and then we ended up giving up. If you rasterize the file, turn it into a bitmap,
right,
it goes right in. Yeah, it goes right in without any trouble. So save the file as a duplicate file that you're going to rasterize, and then turn it into your symbols. And that's what this assessment is all about. So all I need to see from you is your files rasterized and turned into symbols. So when I open up the Illustrator file and click on it, I'll see that they are symbols.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yep.
So that's it. That's not a big deal. All right, so let's go back to week 4 assignment. All right, so week 4 assignment. Go to week 4. Oops. There. All right, so week 4. All you're doing in week 4 is any corrections that I asked you to make tonight or last week when I checked your work, you're going to try to do. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that art and create your 3D box using 3D extrude bevel options. Okay? And I'm going to review that. I'm going to be working on 3D tonight, and I'm going to be working on 3D tomorrow night. So we're nothing but 3D tonight and tomorrow night. So by the end of the day, tomorrow night, you should have no trouble doing this. You probably pretty much know already, but I'm going to go over some stuff tonight and give you the opportunity to throw any questions at me that you might have.
Okay.
One other thing that I just want, you're going to save it as both a PDF and the native Illustrator file, and you're going to turn both of them into me.
Okay.
So what I would do is create a folder and zip the folder. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Good. So you just stick them in a folder, final submission, and final assessment, your name, and then submit that to me, and I'll open them up for grading. Finally, you'll also add this to your Behance site. You know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So here's my Behance site. So I'm going to go in. I already logged in. Simple. All you do is upload the file. Okay. And you go into week 4, and somewhere in week 4, this is my final. All right. So there, I've just submitted it.
Right.
There it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the same basic thing. You're going to upload your file, and then you're going to take your link, and you're going to copy the link, and you're going to send it to me. And who else should tell you to send it to? Whoops, that's not the right one. FPA and me.
Who's FPA?
That's your. Oh God, what the heck is an FPA? That's your your student counselor, I guess. Okay. FPA.
I never heard of it, really.
Yeah, I just for some reason can't remember exactly what the name is. What the FPA stands for. They should spell it out for us dummies out there.
Right. Yeah, I never heard of it.
Okay, so that's really what it is. You're just going to do your final extrude and bevel. So any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, that's done. Behance. Any questions about Behance?
What does extrude mean again? Extrude? Why do they use extrude?
Well, because what you're doing is you're taking that box right there.
Oh, okay.
And you're extruding it. See that side? Yeah. That's the extrusion. And that box there, that's the extrusion.
I was thinking of a different assignment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that's that. And leave the page. Finally, the quiz, the instructions for your quiz, career integration. I believe you've done this already, haven't you?
No, I haven't done mine yet. Not on this.
No, but you've done it in other classes, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, what did you find valuable about the readings? What did you find valuable from the instructor? What did you find valuable from the assignments? That's all. And it's just, basically you grading this course, the relevance of this course. Was this a relevant course? Was I good or bad? Was the material good and bad? The assignments, were they challenging? Were they easy?
Right, right.
And you just be honest about it,
Okay.
All right? That's that. All right. This is you, right?
Yep, that's part me. Yeah,
okay. This is not done.
No.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This is done. Yes, it is. It's done. Here's what I did, though. I wanted to show you how to do this. I wanted to show you how to go to the next step. This worked out okay. Don't get me wrong. But the problem right away is you got a perspective on this, which is correct. It looks like it's a three-dimensional view. And you got something which is a three-dimensional view, which isn't exactly the same view as this, but it's more close to this. And then you got this sitting right next to it where it's flat.
Right.
So basically, that's because you didn't do this. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how I did this and how I did this. And I'm even going to show you how to apply a lid on this. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So that I'm have this out so I can give you an idea of what I will be showing you both tonight. Okay, right here. Excuse me. Right here is your project before I began. Now, I'm gonna come over to here for a second. I went online and I was looking for some labels that I could just grab. I thought it would be better to just grab a label. Instead of making one, I would just grab a bitmap of a label. And I went online and I found this pretty nice looking Keurig label, okay?
Right.
And it's a bitmap. If I click on it, you see, it's a bit. Let me go to the view menu and let me show the edges. Oh, wait, maybe it's locked, is it? No, there it is. You see how that's a bitmap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the problem with a bitmap is if I use this as a bitmap, it's going to have this white out here. And I don't want that. I want this thing to be silhouetted. I want it to be just a circle because it's going to be applied as a symbol. Now, I got a nice big one. When I went in and looked for this, I looked for Keurig labels.
Right.
Okay, and a whole bunch of them came up. And I just found the easiest one, which is this guy, because again, I just wanted to generate a label. I wanted to, do something that I could show you very simply how this is done. So if you decide to do this instead of making your own, you did make your own over here. So I guess theoretically you could just, instead of doing this, you could do this. But I thought at the same time you might want to see how this is done.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So I select this piece. Like I said, I went into Google search and I searched for Keurig labels. And I did a search, when they have like, let me do it so I can show you. All right, because I want to give you an idea what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to go KEURIGLABLES. I don't know whether I spelled LAB. I think I think I spelled it wrong. Let's see. Yeah, all right. You're close enough. I got it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to images.
Right.
Okay, so there are my images. Now, what I want to do is I want to get big ones. The reason I want big ones is because the larger it is, the easier it is to auto trace it. So keep that in mind. Very important point. I go to tools, and you see where it says size? Have you ever done this?
No.
No. In the future, when your instructors have you go into Google and do a search, always go to the tools and always go to the size and always pick the largest size that you can get. Anywhere from here to here to here. I think I went here.
Right.
Okay. That's going to give me a pretty big file. That's what I want. And I just scrolled down and that's the one I think I used.
Right.
So get the idea what I'm doing here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that'll do that. And that what I really wanted to show you, the big thing I wanted to show you is that if you go to tools, you can go to size and you can generate a size, whatever size you want. You can,
yeah, and I didn't know that. I always go to Google Images like that, but I never knew about the size.
Yeah, well, you can see it's got all shopping, images, news, videos, and more, and then settings and tools. It's under tools. If you click tools, you'll see size.
Right.
All right? All right, so that's that. So that's how I got this guy. Now, this is a very simple process. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this vector, and I'm going to turn it into this raster, I'm going to turn it into a vector. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because I want the graphics, and I want the graphics to be editable, and I want them to be vectorized so that I can use them as a symbol and not have this background here.
Right.
So to do that, all I'm going to do is go to the Object menu, and I'm going to go to Image Trace. You've used Image Trace before?
Not very much.
Okay, I use it probably a lot more than you because I do a lot of demonstrations, and I have people, like I just had a demonstration the other day for somebody who does their own artwork, and I showed them how to take their artwork and image trace their artwork, and I gave them instruction as to how they would go about doing that more effectively. So this is a fairly simple one because it's black and white, but it's got a secondary color. So I'm going to go Object, Image Trace, Make. And it's telling me it's a big image. Do I want to proceed? I'm going to go, yeah, okay. And now it'll do it. There you go. See? And it actually gives me a pretty good representation of it. Okay? But if I want to play with the settings a little bit, I can bring out my image trace panel, which is right there. Okay? And this gives me thresholds. Usually it comes out like that, but if you open it up, it gives me the threshold, paths, corners, and noise. So if you stop and think about it, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Threshold. If I lower the threshold, okay, my image is going to become, well, I went too far. There. Yeah. You see how the threshold becomes a little bit muddier?
Yeah.
See how that, okay. If I go all the way up to here, yeah, you see how it gets finer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all it is. Lower, it becomes more imprecise or muddy. Then there's paths. I can come down here and I can bring the paths real low. And not too much happened with paths in this case. Let's bring the paths way up high. Let's go to 100%, see what it does that way. Yeah, did you see it? It kind of did give it a little bit more character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, corners, it's the same thing with corners. There's low. If you come down to low, it don't seem to do very much in this particular case. Bring it up higher. And it doesn't seem to do that much. Bring it back to about the middle. It's getting a little muddy in there. And then, of course, you got noise. If I add a lot of noise to this, in this particular case, I think it might have actually helped it. If I bring all the noise down, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do much. So in this particular case, the advanced ones, only perhaps the path does something. The rest of these things don't really do much to modify what we're doing. Okay? But I'm trying to give you an idea of what your parameters are when you're creating a trace like this. These are, maybe if you're using a color image or something and you want to get more detail, you play around with those settings and you'll get a better detail. In this case, it's basically black and white, so it's very simple. All right, so then all I'm going to do is shut this thing, and I'm going to go Object, Image Trace, and Expand. And now, see, it becomes a vector.
Right.
Now it's a vector. I don't know what's going on with this nonsense here. I don't know whether that's a problem or not. We'll find out. So now I got this thing set up as a vector. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Object, Ungroup, and I'm going to take that background, and I'm going to delete that background. So now I have a piece of art on a transparent background. See, these.
Yeah. See, I never knew to do that. I always take my photos into Photoshop first and make them a PNG with a transparent background.
Yeah.
Now I know I don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to do it. And to be honest with you, what's nice about doing it this way, and you can't do it for everything. I mean, if you have a real high quality photo, chances are you're not going to make it work right. You'll lose on a really nice high quality bitmap photo. You'll lose some of the detail. But if it's something which isn't quite so, high end, you could probably get away with it. Why this is good is because the basic nature of a bitmap is to be resolution dependent, which means that it's easier to make something that's a bitmap go smaller than it is to make it bigger. But something which is a vector, which this now, by the way, is a vector, okay? I can make this as big or as small as I want. So that's the major difference between the two. So that's why we bothered doing it. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go File, Place again. And I'm going to bring in my, let's see here, week 4, where is it? I think it's in there. Let's see, week 4 logo. Oh, it's on the desktop. Oh, yeah, that's another thing I wanted to show you. Before I did that, I almost forgot. Yeah, it's on the desktop. Darn it. Okay, so watch this. On my desktop, let me just show you here. Here it is right there. I'm going to drag that Keurig right in there. Okay, so there's that Keurig. Now, here's what I wanted to show you while we're at it. Okay, let's just take a little bit of a brief tumble around to check this out. All right, this is the links panel. Okay?
Right.
Remember the graphic. It looks like a chain link. It's the links panel. This object here is a bitmap. It is not a native Adobe Illustrator file. It's a bitmap. Now watch when I go into the links panel. You see where it says Keurig logo.jpg?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You see where there's no graphic over here?
Right.
Just a regular old. Okay, well that means it's unlinked. So what I would want to do is if I wanted this thing to show up on my computer. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. All right, I'm just going to minimize that guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save. I'm going to go Save As so I can put it on my desktop so I can show you this. Put it on my desktop. Where are we at here? Here. Desktop. Here. And let's hit Save. So now it's on my desktop. And I'm going to close it. All right? And now watch what I do. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to, it's on my desktop. This is the graphic I linked to it.
Right.
Right? I'm going to take that and move it inside there. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because this file, when I go to open it, is going to go looking for that piece of art right here. It's not going to find it because I moved it. It's in there. And it should throw me up an error message telling me it can't find it. At least that's what I hope it'll do. So I'm going to open this. There. You see it? Could not find the link file, Carrig-logo.jpg. Choose Replace to select another file, or Ignore, nor to leave the file link unchanged. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because when I went to open your project, because you didn't link, or you didn't embed them, I should say, you didn't embed them in the program, I got that error message and I wasn't able to. Here's what happens. If I choose Ignore, oh boy, there we go. All right, so it doesn't show up. It don't show up because it can't find it.
Right.
All right, so that means I basically have to go back in here and I have to start all over. I have to take this thing here and I have to drag that logo in. Well, it was in week 1. There it is. Let's see, what is it? The logo, Carrig logo. Drag that in there. Okay. So do you understand? Do you have any questions about that?
No.
Yeah. The bottom line is what you want to do is you want to make sure that, and see what happened here now is I lost that star. Okay, so this is not really a good scan, so I'm going to delete that thing. And I'm going to move this over here. And I am going to go in here and I'm going to go Object, Image Trace, Make, and I'm going to hit OK. And once again, okay, so I got that. This time it's showing.
Right.
And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with the default on this. So what I'm going to do is, see, it says default. I'm going to go Object, Expand, Image Trace, Expand. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and go Object.
Ungroup.
Ungroup, exactly. And then I'm going to delete that. Okay, now I'm going to go File, Place. And I'm going to go to Advanced Illustrator, Carrig logo, Place. Now, why I'm placing this is because I want to get the color for that star there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that star right there,
right,
the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to swipe that color. All right, so now I got my colors all done on this. I can delete that piece.
Right.
Okay? All right, so bottom line is if I was going to keep that in there, I would still want to go to my links panel. Now, these things here, I'm getting these error messages on here. Carrig link. Let's see let's see if I go here. Show all, relink. Oh, I guess I don't have a problem with them. They do have the question marks on it, but I don't know. They don't seem to be a big deal. Right. So anyway, here's my Carrig art. All right. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to select the whole thing. Maybe just go Object Group, and then I'm going to go to my Symbols panel. All right. And see, I got my symbols in here. So again, what I want to do is I want to get rid of them all. Select all unused and delete them. Okay. And now I'm going to drag and drop my little symbol in there and actually hit cancel. You know why? Because here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go Object, Rasterize, and let's go make this medium, and background is going to be transparent. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All
right. So I'm rasterizing this, but I'm looking at what I got. RGB is fine. I'm going to go medium. I could even go low, but I'll go medium. This is important. Background white, background transparent. If I were to leave this background white, then it would have made no sense for me to actually go in there and turn it into a piece of art.
Right.
The whole point of this is to get rid of the background. So by doing this, I have the ability to turn this into a rasterized piece of art, which will have a transparent background. Okay? The reason I'm doing this is because symbols, if I'm going to make this a symbol, I want it to be as small as possible. By making it a rasterized piece with a white background or with a transparent background, it'll be a smaller piece.
Right.
Okay? Then I'm going to drag this in here, and new symbol, I'm just going to call it label. Label, okay? And I'm going to change it to be a graphic and hit OK. Now, hopefully, that will work. We'll find out real quick. Okay. So here's the deal. The next thing I'm going to do, and again, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you a better way to do what you did here. Now, it's going to take a little longer because I'm going to do this a little slower and explain, you know, how to do it for you. And I think I actually did part of this. I think I did the handle. Didn't I do the handle for you?
No, I did the handle.
No, but I'm saying, didn't I demonstrate how the handle was done?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah, and I did it, and I did it on that piece.
Good. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to get the rounded rectangle tool. All right, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag out a rounded rectangle, something about like that. And I'll make it really small, too, like that. Okay? So I got a rounded rectangle. It's got a yellow fill on it. I don't want a yellow fill. What I want is first of all, I want it to be a stroke, not a fill. And I want something that's probably, well, you know what? Since that's going to be black, let's make it something very light, close to white, like that. Okay? So now that guy is white. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Let me deselect it. Okay, so there's my top piece. That represents that guy right there, the top.
Okay.
All right? So you understand what it is I'm doing. And I'm actually going to drag that over to about right there. Okay? Yeah, because I'm going to cut it there. All right, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my regular rectangle tool. And I'm going to come over to about here. All right? Come on. Let's deselect that, I guess. There we go. Regular rectangle tool. I'm going to come over to about here. And I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag out a K-cup, which would probably need to be about that big. Yeah, that's probably okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this is, you know what? I might even leave that the same color. But what I want to do is I want to bring this thing up to about here, right there. And what I want to do with this is, I actually should line them up. Let's see, maybe do that. That might be better. I think that's probably okay right there. Now, what I want to do with this is, I think I also want to move it over just a bit. Give it a little bit more of a lip, like that. Okay? So far, you understand what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
I'm just making a couple of very basic shapes. I'm not sweating anything. Now, what I want to do is I want to click on this. I want to make this thing curve in slightly because K-cups aren't square like this. They taper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this bottom piece. I'm going to get this guy right here. I can go perspective or I can go free distort. I'm going to go with the free distort, click on the corner, and hold the shift down. And I'm just going to take that corner, and I'm going to bring that corner in just like that. Okay? Now, why did I do that? Because I don't want that part to be curved. I want just part of it to be curved. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take, and I'm going to create a rectangle just like that. And I'm going to move that rectangle right over to that guide like that. So I have a rectangle, and I have this top piece, and I have this bottom piece. I'll select all three of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the window menu, and I'm going to go to Pathfinder. And I'm going to click on Divide. So what I've done is I've divided all these pieces up. So let's start throwing some stuff away. First of all, go Object Ungroup. Let's start throwing some pieces away. That piece gets thrown away. These two pieces get thrown away. Delete. Okay, so you see what I'm left with? I'm left with that piece there and that piece there. You so far so good?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to go to the View menu. I'm going to go to Guides, and I'm going to hide the guides. Now, you can see that these things are closed shapes. I can probably leave it closed shapes, but I like to have my shapes open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open those shapes. And I do that by, see, you know where the eraser tool is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, underneath it, I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. There we go. Okay, let me bring it up a little bit. Let me know if there's anything I'm doing that don't make any sense to you or you need explanation. If you look over here, you see the eraser tool. That's probably what you're going to see. But what you're looking for is the scissor tool, which is hidden right beneath the eraser tool. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're going to get the scissor tool. And what you're going to do is you're going to come to that anchor point right there. There's 4 anchor points on this top. There's 1, 2, and there's 3 actually. There's 3. And there's 2 there, I guess. Now, you know what? Let me go to the view menu. I think that's the bounding box. Hide bounding box. Yeah, there we go. So there is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. See it? 5 actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the scissors tool. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on that anchor point. And then I'm going to click on that anchor point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that piece. And I'm going to delete it. And you see what I did? I made an open shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you good so far?
Yep.
All right, click on this one, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to come over here, select it with the scissors tool, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click on that one right there, and I'm going to come down and click on the bottom one right there. Good. And then I'm going to select that piece, and I'm going to delete that piece. And now I have the basic outline shape of what we would consider to be a K-cup, right? You see how that somewhat resembles a K-cup?
Yep.
Now, the problem with it is it's probably a little wider, but I can always adjust that. Now, here's the other thing. The other thing is this guy, I made this guy first. So this guy is actually behind this guy right here. So what I'm going to do is select this guy, and I'm going to go Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, because I want him to appear above this. This one will appear above that. I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to go to the Effect menu, and I'm going to go 3D, and I'm going to revolve it. And I get the big old revolve panel, and I'm going to preview it, and there's our K-cup.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And I'm going to hit OK for now, and let's zoom out. Go to View, Zoom Out, and let's take a look. View, Zoom Out. All right, so you can see it's not really right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that. That's my free transform tool. And I'm going to slowly and carefully take this thing and I'm going to make it a little bit narrower until I feel it looks more like a K-cup. It should be a lot narrower and somewhere, now it's getting close. See how that's beginning to look more like a K-cup?
Yep.
And what's nice about this, what I really like about this, is the fact that you can go in and you can do this editing afterwards. What do you think? That look like a K-cup to you?
Yep.
Pretty good, right?
Yep.
All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select this and I'm going to move this down here. Yeah, you think you could do that?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
All right, and what I'm going to do is with this selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my appearance panel. I don't know whether I have appearance out. I don't. There's my appearance panel. I did have it. All right, so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into 3D Revolve. I'm going to preview this. Now, here's the trick. Remember I made, oh, wait a minute. Any cancel. I don't know what
the label.
Yeah, let's see. Is the label in there? The label's in there. Okay. So I can select this thing, and I'm going to go to Appearance, and I'm going to double-click 3D Revolve and preview it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Map Art. All right. Now, I'm going to map the surface of this guy. This has got 6 surfaces, so I got to look at this carefully, and we'll see what we get. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6. Where's the top one? Why am I not getting the top one? One. I hit cancel. And hit. Okay, let me see something here. 3D Revolve. Let's try just that one. Yeah, let's go to Preview. There we go. And now let's try Map Art. Ah, so I'm still getting 1 of 10, huh? All right. I wonder if that's it. We'll have to find out. Let's see. I don't see it on there. Cancel. Oh, no. Let's just remove it. I got to find the right surface for this.
Right.
I wonder if that's it. I wonder if that's it. Let's try it and see. Nope, it isn't it yet.
Maybe it's that one with the mesh on it.
No, that's the, I don't think so. That's the outer one. Let's try this one. And it's not. Nope. I'm not seeing the top one. I'm running into a problem with this because I don't see the top one. Then maybe that's might be it right there. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to now do is I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to start bringing this thing down in size.
Right.
All right, and this is not the way to do it. Let's
And you move, yeah, move it down.
yeah, but see, it doesn't want to do that. That's the problem. Here we go. I got it. I got it. Hold down the shift key. Start bringing it down. See, it's distorting. Not what I want at all. Let me see if I could straighten it out. Oh, yeah. Got to go around. Does that look about around to you? Shift. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Hold the shift key. Keep bringing it down until I get it about the size that I want. And it's getting close.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep bringing it down. I want it to be a little bit smaller on the top. That's about right there. That's about right there. I might bring it down just a little bit and get it where I want it. And come on, boy, this thing's tricky. That's probably good. And hit OK. And hit OK. And there you have your, it's not rendering it real well. But if I select this whole thing, right, now if I have to select this whole thing here, yeah, see, the problem now is that I've done this in order to get that, and this, which is now they're separate. So I was going to show you how to revolve these things, but for some reason now they're mixed appearance. See, they're because I put one on alone. Now they're two separate objects, and it becomes a pain. So I'm sort of stuck. With,
right.
But at any rate, you see, if you go to the view menu, let's see if we zoom out. Yeah, it's not really presenting itself pretty well. You know what? Let me try something. Let me go back to this for a minute. Let me go back to this. So this is the bitmap now, right? All right, so let's delete this for a minute. Let's go File, Place again.
Okay.
I'm just going to try bringing this in and making it. I'm just going to make it a object, image trace, make. Okay. There we go. And object, image trace, expand. Okay. So now I got that. Now let's try this. Let's take that guy and let's go Object on Group and let's delete that. Okay. And now I'm going to select the whole thing. And I'm not even going to play around with the color. I'm just going to drag it in there.
Right.
And call it label 2. Label 2. And let's make it a graphic. Okay.
So what are we doing different this time?
I didn't rasterize it. The reason I'm doing that, here's the reason I'm doing that is for this reason right here. I want to see how that came out?
Yeah.
I want to see if it's left as a vector file, whether it comes out cleaner.
Okay.
All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Appearance panel. I'm going to double click this, and I'm going to map the art again, and I'm going to go to the surface. I think it's 10. Yeah, there it is. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to change it to label 2.
Right.
Okay. So now let's see how this works. If I bring this thing down, see now the problem I have is getting this. Oh, geez. Wow. Okay. What I think I'm going to have to do, and let's hit cancel for a second. What I think I'm going to have to do is go into the symbols panel, and I think what I'm going to have to do is make this thing smaller. So let's go in here and let's make it 50%, 45%. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better. Let's see. I think so. All right, so now I'm going to just come out of here. I made that thing 50%. Let's see if that helps me at all. So I'm going to get that, go back into my appearance. Am I confusing you with this?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go to 10. There we go. And I'm going to change it to label 2. There we go.
Oh yeah, it looks
all right.
Better.
All right. Now I think this will work better. Let's take this thing and let's make it smaller.
Yep.
Get it on there. I think this is what the problem is. All right. So now that this is the vector,
I think you didn't rasterize it.
Yeah, I think in this particular case, yeah, there we go. See how much better that is?
Yep.
Okay, so there you go. So there's how you do what you're trying to do here
right.
using the 3D. Okay, and if you want, you can even come in here and you can select that object, and you see how that color is right there?
Uh-huh.
If I wanted to, I can double click that color, and I can even lighten that color and hit OK. And you see how it's lightened that color?
Yep.
Or if I want, I come in here and I can take that color and I can start going in another direction with the color. You see? So that's what I like about this, the fact that you can do these things and you can do them sort of on the fly. So that's how I made that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I made that cup. Here's the cup. There's the cup. I'm going to make a cup. I'm not going to make this look cup because I actually, in the end, don't like it. But I'm going to show you how I made that cup. I'm going to go back here. Whoops. Where are we at? Yeah. All right. I'm going to make the cup. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start off with the pen tool. And once again, let's go to the view menu and let's go guides, show guides. There's my guide. Let's go view, guides, unlock guides. There we go. I think it's unlocked. Maybe I locked it. Let's see. No, I didn't. Okay. So I'm going to bring that guide over here because I'm going to be working over here. And then I'm going to go to the end of view, guides, lock it. I'm going to lock the guides. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to come over and just place a click right on that guide right there. Okay. And then I'm going to come to about here and I'm going to hold the shift key down. The reason I'm holding the shift key down is I want to make that cup straight, that line straight. So you shift it, you make it straight. You got that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to click here. Then I'm going to come all the way down to here. Okay. And I'm going to shift, hold, and I'm going to start dragging out a round shape. So I'm making something that's cup-like. Then I want to come here and I want to click on this anchor point to convert it. Then I'm going to come over to about here and I'm going to click and I'm going to create a round area, something along the lines of that. And I'm going to have to fix that because I can see it's not right already. Then I'm going to click this line again and then I'm going to hold the shift key down and come right over here and click that.
Right.
Now I'm going to put a color into it. And this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some kind of a light green color like that.
Okay.
Okay, so now that line, see, is sort of a light green.
Right.
And it's kind of a barrel-looking shape, so I'm not crazy about the cup. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but I think it'll do. I am going to straighten this out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my direct selection tool, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to click on that point right there, and I'm going to simply take that point and drag it in a little bit to see if I can get that curve a little bit nicer.
Yeah, starting to look better already.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit better right there. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's go to the view menu and let's go fit artboard and window. Okay, so that's basically how I make my cup shape. And I'm going, and remember now, go to the view menu, guides, hide guides. Remember, it's an open shape.
Right.
Okay. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'll select it and I'll go Effect, Revolve, or actually 3D. Revolve and hit preview, and I'm using the same angle as this.
Right.
All right, but this I'm going to just basically hit OK for now. Now there's two things wrong with this. First, number one thing is it's way too wide. It doesn't look like a mug, and the other thing is you see how that doesn't look like an open top. It looks like a closed top.
Right.
Top. I have to see if I can do something to make that top look different. So what I'm going to do, the first thing is I'm going to deal with the width of it. I want to make this thing more like a cup shape. So again, going to just grab the free transform tool. And I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to click and I'll start dragging this over until I get a cup shape that I think looks more like a mug. And I'm close. See, now that to me I think looks more like a mug.
Right.
Okay, so there. And I'm going to, just deselect it for a second. But here's what I want to do. I want to go in and I want to change this so that I get something that looks more like an open mug up here. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on that eyeball to remove that 3D revolve. Then I'm going to zoom in on this area right here because this is the area I'm going to work on. Let me show you. This area right here. See the area right there I want to work on?
Uh-huh.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pen tool. And my pen tool, we talked about this, I think. We have the pen tool, add anchor point, delete anchor point, and convert anchor point. Do you remember us talking about them at all?
Yes.
Okay, so the add anchor point allows me to add anchor points. So what I need to do to make this thing go down is to add a couple of anchor points. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the Add Anchor Point tool, and I'm going to start off by going real close to the other one, right about there, and I'm going to click, I missed it. I'm going to click on that line and put it, there, got it. And then I'm going to come over here, and I think I'm going to click right about, maybe I don't even need to do that. Might only be the one that I have to do. All right, let's try it. Now I'm going to get my direct selection tool, and I'm going to take that anchor point right there, and I'm going to come down like this, and I'm going to hold the shift key, and I'm going to drag that thing way down like about there. Okay?
Okay.
See what I'm doing? I'm creating an interior shape.
Right.
Okay. Then what I got to do is, since I got rid of the guide, I got to bring a guide out. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen tool, and I'm going to click on that point right there. That's what, let me go to the view menu. Let's go guides, show guides. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to click on this point. By clicking on that point, what I did was I reattached the pen to that point. So now I can hold the shift key down and go over to here, and then I can double click that, and then I'm done. There's my shape. So you see the differences? I got this thing, which is a big, deep, and I'm not going to...
So it can be an opening, the opening.
Theoretically, it should start to look like an opening. And if I wanted to, I can come up here. I can come in here like this, and I can take my direct selection tool, click on that point right there, and I can move that point over a couple of points to make it even smaller. Let's go to the view menu, fit artboard and window, and I will now zoom into this area again. Let me zoom into that area a little bit and then bring it up so we can see what's going on here. So are you cool with what I did so far?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Good. All right, so what we're going to do now is, since the Revolve is already on this thing, all we have to do is put it back on, and let's see what happens.
Select it again.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's not selected. There we go. Yeah. Now let's put it on. There. Okay, so can you see now that that looks like an open shape now?
Yep.
I mean, it's quite a bit different, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Now the problem is I can't put another shape into this thing because it's not complex enough to do that. So if I want to make this look like there's coffee in there, what I have to do is I have to create an external shape, right? Like this. And I have to come in and I have to create an external ovaloid shape, sort of like this, and I have to position it. Let me just get this thing positioned so that it's in the right spot. Keep playing with it a little bit until I get that thing positioned the way I want it. Approximately like this. Maybe make it a little bit less, a little bit. Whoops, let's go a little bit smaller. That might work. That might be all right. And then I'm going to remove the stroke on it, get the fill, and I'm going to see whether I can make something that looks a little bit like coffee. Coffee. It might be a little more orange. Let's see.
Or green tea.
Yeah, or green tea. Yeah, I could do that. Try to make something that's coffee-like. I think that's probably close enough for our purposes. There. And now there's our coffee.
Yep. Looks
So,
good.
looks pretty good, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then what I did was I created the handle for this. So to do that, the way that I think probably works really well is to just come over here, and you're going to click, and you're going to place an anchor point, and you're going to come around to about here, and you're going to click, and you're going to drag to create that shoulder point. Okay? Click on this, and you're going to come down here, and you're going to click to create that area of the handle. I'll probably have to clean these points up, and then come over here, and then click to create the bottom of the handle. Okay? And that don't look too bad. I probably should, adjust these things a tiny bit. Let's see. They don't look too bad for our purposes. I think we'll be all right. What do you think? Is that good enough?
Yep.
I think it'll be all right. This one's a little bit off, but I think we can go with that. All right, so then what I want to do is I want to change this to the color that we're using here. So by selecting it and applying it to the stroke only, and then changing the color to that color right there.
Right.
There we have it. All right, so now I'm going to go to the Object menu. I'm going to go to Path, and I'm going to go Offset Path. Now, I think that number right there offset 0.1589 IN. I think the reason that that number is there is because I did this before, and that's the number that I used.
Right.
You would have to figure out what the offset would be. And let's take a look and let's see if I like this one. Yeah, I think that's probably okay. See how thick it is?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to hit OK on that one. And then what happens is I get that. But I also have this line right there, which I can now delete. But I have a shape, and that shape is my handle shape.
Yeah,
So
I can't
revolve.
I did it.
Huh?
It's a lot easier than the way I did it.
Yeah. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to a fill, and I'm going to bring the thing over here and place it so that it's showing. Let's go to the View menu, and let's go to the Artboard and Window again. And let's zoom in a little closer. Once again, let's zoom in a little bit closer. Let's bring it over this way, and let's bring it up a little bit. Like that. Okay, and let's place it properly. Bring it up to about there. Okay, and we're going to go Edit Cut. There's a number of ways you could do this. We'll go Edit Cut, and then Edit Paste in back. Okay, and there's my handle. And if I want that handle to begin to look a little more real, I'm going to go to the Effect menu, and I'm going to go to Stylize, and I'm going to go Inner Glow. Yeah, Inner Glow. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to set it to multiply. I could probably just go normal on this. And let's preview it. There you go. And that might be a little bit dark. So what I would do is I might make this 15 instead of 17, 15. And then what I would do is I'd start bringing this down. Oh, that's actually not bad right there. Let me go a little bit lighter.
Right.
Like that. And hit OK.
So how do they handle doing the 3D handles? Do they ever make the handles 3D?
You can't make, the reason you can't make a 3D handle is because this isn't a full-fledged 3D program.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this is not a full-fledged 3D program, so you're limited in what you can actually do.
Right.
So you kind of have to fake certain things.
Right, right.
I mean, yeah, this is mostly used for mock-ups and stuff like that. You can make really nice extrusions and you can make really nice revolves, but you know they're limited. So anyway, my point is, if you take a look, let's go View, Fit, Artboard, and Window. Okay, if you had done this and this instead of that, this would have been a whole lot better because this actually doesn't look too bad. The other thing I would do with this is I would have added a gradient onto this.
Yeah, I hadn't got that done, all that stuff done, but I wanted to at least turn it in because I was behind with everything. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. That's my critique of this. That's what I would do with this. And maybe at some point you might do this just basically so that you would have a slightly better portfolio piece.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
All right. So I wanted to spend enough time as it took to make you understand how I approach doing this. So is there any questions about any of this?
Nope.
Nope. You're good?
Yep.
All right. So I can get rid of that.
Yeah, it helped a lot.
Okay. And there's the other one, obviously. And okay, so there's that. We'll look at this later. Let me go File, Open, and let's go into week 4. And let's go to, let's see, Kimberly, what's that? Oh, okay, this is Kimberly's submission. So what I want to do tonight is for Kimberly, I was going to review this for her. And I think basically she did okay with this. There are 2 things that I don't like about this. The way she did explosions in your mind. I mean, it doesn't suggest an explosion to me, and I think in this particular case it doesn't work because you can almost not read mind. I know what it is, so I and you can see it here. It's okay here. You can read it just fine. But this, what she did was she used an envelope. She went in and let me go to this and show you. Warp shelf lower. If I click on this, and if I change this to arch, you see what it is?
Right.
Yeah, it's an arch. And she's using these horizontal and vertical settings as opposed to the ultimate, this one here.
Right.
Yeah. So, my feeling with this is that, it's really not right. to do that particular thing there. It's not the right one. So my critique was for her to possibly see if she could work out that line. Like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with her graphics up here. I'm okay with the Cerebral Assassin. And I'm okay with all the stuff down here. And basically, this is all right. My critique of her would be to see if she could perhaps do something with this line right here. And I'm not saying what I did here is correct, but I think maybe she needs to do something with that line to make it more legible. Or make it suggest an explosion, because it doesn't really suggest an explosion.
Right.
So she might be able to.
The skull looks pretty good. Cool. I like
Skull
this.
look, yeah, the skull don't look bad, and the background red graphic that she has, sort of like an explosion. She also might use more than one of them. She might actually make a couple of them, so it intensifies the explosion a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing is, I think the pieces that are on the album, these guys right here,
right.
I just don't think she did enough with them. I think that she probably needs to do something with them. You know, she created outlines on these things, so I give her credit for doing that, because she at least knew that if she created outlines, I'd be able to see her type. See what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I meant to do mine. I feel like an idiot because
No, it's okay.
I know all about the outlines, and I don't know why I didn't do it.
That's all right. That's all right. As I say, I thought about it after I received the pieces, and I thought to myself, geez, you didn't tell them how to create outlines on this thing. So
no, but we knew, and
but I mean, it's part of my. I should have said something, and it just slipped my mind. It didn't occur to me until I was looking at the submissions, and I realized,
right.
Well, you didn't tell them anything, so maybe they didn't know to do it. So critique, and this goes for her because this is what she has to do before she creates her final piece. And these are not, they haven't been turned into bitmaps yet. You can see that. These are all basically still pieces of vector art. So I don't know what she wants to do with explosions in your mind, but I would like to see it more like an explosion. And this doesn't work. I mean, I just don't like the looks of the way it goes like this. It looks kind of like a bomb, I guess, but I don't understand it. I don't see why it's there. This is okay, but this line right here, this is okay as well. The colors are basically okay. I don't have a problem with the colors. I just think she needs to figure out something to do with this. What she could possibly do is she could possibly take this thing, and she should, well, let me do this first of all. Let me take this, and let's go to art. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, so we have explosions in your mind. Let's go edit copy and edit paste. Okay, so now I've just pasted that in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that over here. And I am going to take all that. I probably have to use my group selection tool. I'm gonna play with something and see how this works. So I'm going to delete that because the word explosions is what I'm going for. And I am going to go with, let's say I want to go with a red on that. Okay, just for the heck of it. Let's go for a red. Okay. Okay. All right, so now that's red. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to move it down and I'm going to place it right over top of the explosions down here. Okay? And I'm going to click on it and I'm going to go edit cut. Click on this. Edit. Paste in front. Or wait a minute, paste in back. There we go. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go object hide selection. Okay, so now I got the word explosions here. And I'm going to go view, hide edges. Hide edges. There we go. Now, what I'm thinking is if I got this thing selected and if I go to the effect menu and I go into distort and transform, and if I go pucker and bloat, I can start doing this. You know what? Hit cancel. Let me try Effect, Distort and Transfer, Roughen. All right, let's try that. What about that?
Yeah, I think that looks kind of cool. Looks like a real explosion.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that that's the way to go. I'm just saying that, you know, that would, to me, make more sense. And then what you could do, if you want to, you could come in here and select that explosions in your mind type, okay, and go to Effect, and go to Stylize, and go Drop Shadow, and preview that. And then you could come in here, and you could go 01, 01, and we could come in, blur it. Let's make it, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. There we go. Let's go 03. You see what's happening?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. That's good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Okay. All right. And now you got that, which to me at least suggests this is unlocked, right? No, it isn't. I might take that. I might select that. I might just, oh, you know what? Let's go view show edges. That might be the reason I'm not.
Does it let you copy effects in here?
What do you mean copy effects?
You know, to put on other areas? The same exact effect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If I go to this, and I go Effect, Apply, well, I actually drop shadow now.
Yeah, so it's still in there.
Yeah. And that actually looks pretty good. Let's go You Fit Artboard and Window. Okay, so my point is with this,
Oh, yeah, it looks good.
I just was wondering whether there would be a better way of expressing explosions for explosions in your mind.
Right.
And that is what I was thinking. And since there's an explosion going on behind the skull, I thought maybe there might be an explosion going on behind the word explosion. The problem I had with her version is that to me doesn't suggest explosions, number one. And number two, it's hard to read. It's not a really good effect because it's hard to read. This effect here is okay. And what I would do is I'd probably put the drop shadow on that as well. See, by putting the drop shadow, I think that makes it come alive a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Come in here and I'd put the drop shadow on that. Yeah, what? What happened?
You're going to need to undo it another time.
Huh. Well, I would then do this. I'd delete that, get that, edit copy, edit paste in place, and then I would just bring it over here.
Right.
You know, if you run into problems like that, there's always a way around it.
Yep.
Okay, so there you go. You got that now over there. And, okay, so I think that looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I think it looks better than this. This is my only critique on this, is that she needs to do something about that effect right there. I gave her a possible way of doing it. If she doesn't want to do that, fine. She could think about it, maybe come up with something better. This down here, I just don't know. To me, it seems rather boring, and I don't know, maybe she could do something like making it a little bit smaller, maybe make it in 2 columns, I don't know.
Right.
And then incorporating some sort of a graphic back there as well. And if you don't do the graphics, maybe come up with a different way of doing this. What she could do is, and I can't really do it here because this is no longer live text. She could perhaps flush these and then flush these and put leaders between them.
Right.
Now, then this way it would be more of a square thing. That's a possible way to go. And then, you know, the rest of this, I mean, she could probably do the drop shadow thing effect here. There we go. See if that worked. Yeah. And I would do the same thing here.
Oh, yeah, it looks really good with the drop shadow.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, you know, make this thing look richer. And you know what? I maybe even go to effect drop shadow there. What the hell is this? Cancel. Some of these things want to be effect. Let's see. Stylized drop shadow. Is there a new effect on there? Yeah. Is there one on there? No, wrong one. Appearance. Oh, there is a drop shadow on there already. She has a drop shadow on there. There's your problem. Okay,
Right.
so the problem I have with that is her drop shadow probably would be better with this drop shadow. Let's go. Yeah, let me try it now. Click on that. Let's see. Effect, drop shadow. It's still cancel. Oh, I know. I didn't throw it away. I actually threw the thing away. There we go. Now let's try it. Effect, apply drop shadow. There. Okay, I think
that looks much better.
I think that looks better. And
Yeah.
same with this. I think
Is her skull separate from that red thing that's behind it?
Yeah, it is. But it looks like it's also a bitmap.
Right. So I was going to say, put a drop shadow on the skull. Maybe it might look cool.
What
too.
I would do with this is I would maybe take this thing and go to Object, and I would go Image Trace Make. Well, actually, let's see what's going on here. Click it. No, I want that skull. There we go. Object, Image Trace Make. Oh, it's not going to let me do that. I wonder why not. I wonder why it's not letting me do that. I don't know. I wonder if that's a ping. Let's go to the links panel and see. Let's go to Window, Links. And it is, oh, it's not even showing up. Look at that. Wow. What the heck is going on here? What is that thing? Look at that. See, it's not in the links panel.
Yeah.
That's really odd. I don't know. That one got me stumped. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm just looking at some of the things that I think might make this a little bit better. What do you think?
Yeah, I like especially the drop shadow, and it looks much better.
So, Kimberly, we've talked about this. If you could maybe do something that suggests explosions, these drop shadows, I think, look better than your drop shadow, which you could hardly see. These, at least you see, and it adds a nice bit of depth to the whole thing. And then at some point, is it possible to maybe do something a little bit nicer with this block of copy here? It's very big. It's very bold. I think it probably is overdone. I think you could probably not use necessarily bold, but you could probably go with something regular, and you might find something a little bit nicer, font to use. Is there anything, Carolyn, what do you think? Anything else you want to mention?
It just, on that block of text, it doesn't look like the numbers are even aligned, so maybe align it too.
Well, yeah, then the problem with the numbers is there, I believe, yeah, I see what you mean. I don't know whether that's her having extra space in there or something. I'm not sure.
Number 10, you see number 10 is not lined.
Number 10, yeah, but I think that's, they are wider measure, so that's part of it as well. So
right.
I don't know. I just think this could probably be a little nicer done. Maybe come up with some kind of an interesting script to do them in, and maybe not so big and not so bold. I wouldn't necessarily try centering them, although maybe you could center them and not put the numbers on. Maybe you could do that. Maybe just center them and not put the numbers on. You don't actually need the numbers. You need the names of the songs, but you don't necessarily need the numbers. So play around with that a little bit. The big thing, though, is to see if you could do something more like this, because this thing here I'm not crazy about it. I just don't think it works quite as well. All right? All right. Well, let's see what else we got in here. File open.
Uh-oh. Can you even see mine the way it's supposed to look?
No, we already did this.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, file open. Hold on. That's the one we did. How many of them I got there?
We need to look for week 3.
Okay. Week 1, week 3?
Yep.
Okay. So
yeah, you can already.
this is
Nothing is there.
I'm glad this is the problem.
Right.
If you take a look, you see the red text,
Yep.
the red highlighting behind the text,
Yep.
red highlighting behind the text, all of this red highlighting, and this I don't think is the right text either, is it?
Nope. And my images are gone.
Okay, so what you need to do is, before you submit this, save it as a duplicate and go outline all your text so that when it comes to me, all the text. Well, what's her name did that?
Right.
Yeah, she did it, and she did that part correct. So you do the same thing, and you'll submit this, and it'll be fine.
But I don't know how to embed my images. Do you have the?
I'm going to show you. You're going to go to the window menu and go to links.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you see that thing right there?
Right.
That little symbol is telling me that that little thing is embedded. That's why that's showing up, because it's embedded. And if you want to embed something, I can't really embed anything because most of this stuff, yeah, see, he's embedded.
Well, will the PDF show my stuff?
Yeah,
The PDF was in there too.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to explain to you is when I take your thing, when I take your PDF, which is what this is, this is your PDF.
No, that's the AI file.
I opened the PDF in I opened the PDF in Adobe Illustrator and saved it as an AI file, which I can do.
Okay, because I sent you both of them.
I know.
Okay.
But the point is, in order to open a PDF, if you don't have links, if you don't have the elements linked, when you open it in Illustrator, Illustrator doesn't function the same way as Acrobat does. There's Acrobat. Acrobat, when you have a PDF and you open it up, the Acrobat program has the ability to basically embed everything.
Right.
So you can open up a PDF and it'll always look correct. But Illustrator doesn't have that capability. So if I take that same PDF and I try to open that same PDF in Adobe Illustrator begins to act the way Illustrator acts. And Illustrator links things. So what it does right away is it doesn't find what it's looking for in the PDF because it's no longer a PDF. It's becoming an Illustrator file. And it starts looking for the links to the elements, and it doesn't find them. Now watch. You see that? The element's still there.
Right.
It can't display it. There's another one right there. You see it? It's there, but it can't display it because it can't find it. That's what it is. So when this thing is selected and it's showing properly in Illustrator, what you do is you open up the links panel, window, links, right there. Open up the links panel. You go to the drop-down menu, and you see where it says embed image?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to, with the image selected, you're going to go to the drop-down menu, embed image, and it will embed that image, and you will see a graphic that looks like that appear.
Right.
And that will tell you that the image is now embedded. When you send it to me, that image being embedded in the file will display. And do that to any bitmap, any piece of art. See, your guy here, your son, the picture of your son?
Right.
That's displaying because it's embedded. You see it?
Right.
That's why that's displaying, because he's embedded. It evidently you did that, or it did it by itself.
It did it by itself.
Okay.
If you want to see my file, I have it open.
No, it's not a problem. I'm just trying to tell you, when you submit for future reference, there are these things you should know to do. Because if I take your PDF, which everything shows right in your PDF, if I try to go into Illustrator and open it up, because it's not embedded in the links panel, it's not going to show up. So I'm just trying to tell you how you go about fixing that problem.
Right. So I'll do that.
Yeah, it's a good thing to know how to do, because you'll use it again. You're not just going to use it here. You're going to have, to submit stuff to people, and sometimes you're going to submit Adobe Illustrator files. And if you're using images that are bitmap images in Adobe Illustrator, they're being linked probably.
Right.
When you send it to somebody, if you don't deliberately go in and embed that bitmap, you're going to have something like this occur.
Right.
See what I mean? And
Yeah.
then I can't really see what's there. Yeah, I mean, I know I can go into DES right here. I go into week 4. I can go to my, where is it? Right here. That's not the one. Oh, here it is right there. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. So there, I can see it, right? I can see the images here.
Right.
But that's because this is Acrobat, and Acrobat has the ability to capture that font in order to display it in your file. And that image can be captured to display in your file.
Right. Well, I'll resubmit this in the morning with the corrections on it.
Yeah, and I'm only telling you this so that you understand, because this is part of, you know, learning how to deal with these programs. They're totally different programs. Both of them are totally different programs. And frankly, you know, in order for these things to work, you have to know as much about them as possible. And like I say, one of the panels that you should really come to learn about when you're working on things like this is the links panel, because the links panel does give you the ability to take a bitmap image.
Oh yeah, this is the first time I've heard of the links panel.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, again, as I say, I try to show you things that are new. I mean, there are things in here. There's a lot of things in here that I don't even get to show you, but I try to show you some new things. I'm glad to be able to do that. And I spend time explaining this to you so that you understand why I'm going to the trouble of doing it. You know, you need to know that these things are there, and you need to know when and how to employ them. So you've got several things. You got an image here, image here, image here, and I think an image here as well. And all of them, yeah, see, there's one there. Then there's the big one there, there's the big one there, and there's the same thing repeated right there. All 4 of those should be embedded like that. You got your son there, he's embedded, that's why he's showing. See how he's showing there?
Yeah.
If it wasn't embedded, I'd get that. I'd get that. That's what I would get. He wouldn't be there. It would be just that, but he's embedded. And this guy, strangely enough, is also embedded. So somehow or other that managed to get embedded, which is good, you know. The other things did not. All right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is, because you did do this right. I mean, let's go back to here. Let's go back here, and let's go to recent. This is, yeah, right there. Okay, so let's view this thing. Let's go back out to 75. Yeah, so there's this one. There's that front cover area, right? That's the front area. And you know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I had a misspelling. Let me see. I didn't send you the correct one, did I? Go down. Let me see.
I can't. Hold on. It's actually, hold on.
Oh, okay.
It's being a pain in the butt. Hold on. Let me get this. Jeez.
Mine does that sometimes too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there it goes. And it's going down. Yes. Oh.
Okay, yeah, I fixed it. And when I sent you the PDF, it had the correct spelling of Yahweh.
Yeah.
I had Yahweh spelled wrong. My son told me about it.
Also, this copy here is a little too close to the edge. Move it in a little bit. Actually, you could take all of this copy as one solid piece and just move it over a little bit.
Okay.
And just, in other words, if you were to just group the whole thing together and then just move it all over until you get the same distance here and here on that would be better. This bottom area is okay. The top area is okay. I mean, what you would also maybe do is take that block of copy and move it up just a tiny bit, you know, like just like that. See where
I was trying to line the bottom, and I could see that I should have maybe put some space in between it. I didn't do that. Think about it.
You could move this one over alone a little bit so that you equalize the space like that. Select all of them together, group them, and move them over until it centers in the panel. Never go this close. Never go that close. Stay away from that. Doing that. That's not and everything else basically is okay. You might want to take a little bit of space out here, maybe make this a little tighter. You got line spacing in there that might be a little bit wider than you want. You know, I know you're trying to fill it all and everything, but don't be afraid of white space. I mean, look at how much white space you used on the front.
Right.
And I don't dislike it. I think it's kind of nice that way, you know? So don't be afraid to work with white space. Just don't go nuts with it, you know.
Right.
Maybe
Okay.
give a little breathing space here,
Right.
a little breathing space here, and when you get these things tightened up a little bit, maybe move them over a little bit so it wraps more around the haze.
Right.
No, you don't need to have that thing hanging all the way over like that. You can move it in a little bit. You know what I mean? See, you've got that much space over here, and
Right.
that space over there. You could move this over a little bit so you get a little bit wider margin here and here. Balance them somewhat.
Right.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good. So that's my critique on that. Then what you're going to do, all right? All right, so that, and let's see. So I don't want to do this on yours because, yeah, I want to do it on yours because, to be honest with you, let's go File, Open. All right, and let me open one of mine. Let's see. What do we want here? We want the CD. Where are my other ones? Week for mockup. Rock CD. I want the Rock CD. Let me see. What's this? Is that? Oh, that's the CD. All right, I'll leave that out because I'll show you that. I'm not going to do this right now. We'll do that tomorrow night. File, Open, and let's find the other one. Where are you? This is the final mockup. Rock. Where'd it go? New folder. Oh, you know what? I bet it's in 3. Let's see if it's in 3. Rock Raster, Rock CD, Rock Jazz CD. There we go. I think that's it. What do we got? Yeah, okay, so they have been made into symbols. So let's go back in. First of all, let me see. File, Open, Week 3, Rock Jazz. Let's see. DVD template cup. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's the one I got. All right, so you know what? Let's get out of here. Let's see if I can break the link to these things.
So I have to make all of my images on my cover into symbols, right?
No, you're going to make your cover. You're going to make the cover. Oh, and that's another thing. Let's go File, Open. Open Recent. Let's go to. Is that it, Carolyn?
Week 3, yeah. I don't know if it's the AI file though or the.
No, this is the AI file. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's what you're going to do. What you're going to do is, and there's another thing that you might want to consider doing. This is actually white, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make your CD white. Now, let's try that and see how that works. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take that shape, rectangle. I'm going to drag myself a rectangle, just like that. And I'm going to go Edit, Cut. I'm going to go File, New. I'm just doing a little test here to see something.
All right.
All right, let's go Create. There we go. And let's go Edit, Paste. There. Okay, and it's actually too big. So I'm just going to reduce this because this is just a little test I'm running here. All right, so I'm going to go, jeez. Jeez. All right, here we go. All right, let's make that smaller. That's probably good. All right, so now I got your CD. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make your CD clear fill. Oh, wait a minute. This is an extrude. So actually, yeah, I want this to be a fill of white with a stroke of none. Okay?
Okay.
That's what you're going to do. And the reason that we're doing that is because we're going to be extruding a rectangular box shape. So you really need a fill on this instead of a stroke. That's the major difference between the two. When you're making a revolve, you use a stroke around the edge here. When you create an extrude, you fill it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Effect, 3D, and let's go Extrude and Bevel. Let's hit Preview. There. Okay, so you see what it does?
Yep.
It actually goes not white. It's not really white. It's now goes kind of a light gray color. And we can affect that by coming into more options, and we could play around with the lighting on this, see? And you could make this thing look a little bit more white if you want to do that. See what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you can even add additional lights to it, which I'm not going to bother doing. But anyway, you can control the look of that. Like I can make it much darker on that side, or I can, and see how that now is showing at the top?
Yeah.
Probably not what you want. You want something more like that. And
Right.
then let your sides be a little bit on the darker side. I can add a light to the side if I want. Come over here and add a light to the side. And then what I could do with that side light is I could take the intensity way down. There, see? And I can make that like that. See what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So I just did that by making 2 lights. And you do that in here. You do that in the more options. Map art is here. And that's what we use to apply our art. We click on that. And then, of course, it comes up, right? You got your surfaces. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do this again. I'm going to do this again tomorrow night. I'm going to do this whole thing again tomorrow night. But I just wanted to see, this is what your box is going to end up looking like. And you're going to put your graphics on that box right there.
All right.
All right. And theoretically, if you do this, the background color of the box will show through because you'll be putting transparent areas on it. See, this will be transparent. You're not going to have any color back there. You're going to have that graphic, him, your son, and your logo here, and your text and your line down here. All right?
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to jazz. So this thing here, let's go to my symbols, and let's do this. Let's go break linked symbol. There. And let's click on this, and let's break link to symbol, and let's break link to symbol. Okay? So now my symbols, the links have all been broken, and I'm going to throw all these away. I'm going to go select all unused and delete them. Delete. All right. Now this, as you can see it? It's all the graphic shapes. There's an awful lot of stuff going on here. And that's the problem. The problem is that, and this is what your assignment was, the assessment was. This is what the assessment was last week.
Right.
Right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this art, Jazz CDAI. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to go Jazz CD _ RASTER, raster. Okay.
Right.
And what you want to do, I think, is you're going to want to try to make this raster the right size. You don't want to make it bigger. You don't want to reduce this, because I think one of the reasons that mine looked so terrible was because I had to reduce it down. So if you make your raster pieces the correct size that you're going to use, it'll work a lot better.
Right.
Okay? And I'm going to hit save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole thing here. Oh, wait. Okay. All right, now this is raster. I select this whole thing, and I'm going to go Object, Rasterized. And then I'm going to set this to low screen and hit OK. There. Okay. Now, see how bad that looks?
Right.
Yeah. So let's go Edit, Undo, because it looks too bad, and go Object, Rasterize again. And this time, let's try it for medium, and let's see how that looks.
That's bad too.
Yes, it's not great either. Edit, Undo, Rasterize. Let it go back. And let's go Object, Rasterize again. And let's go to High and hit OK.
That one's all right.
I think it'll do. So you're going to rasterize this guy. And then what you're going to do is you're going to select it, drag it in, and turn it into a symbol.
Right.
And call it front, FRONT. And then you're going to make it a graphic and hit OK. Then you'll select this guy right here and Object, rasterize it. High. OK. And then you're going to drag that in there. Spine. And then it is a graphic and hit OK. And then this guy right here, I'm going to go Object, Rasterize, High, OK. And good, I can drag that in there, and that's going to be back. B-A-C-K. And then, okay. All right, so that, you have yet to do this because you have to go back in and you have to fix your,
Right.
yeah, you have to fix your, whatchamacallit, just a
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, yeah, it's not a big deal, but you just go back in and you'll fix it. All right, so here's what I'm going to do now. I am going to start off by taking this rectangle tool. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag a rectangle right there. Okay? And I want to make sure I get it the right size. So let me just, there we go. Let me try it again. There we go. I want to make sure it's the right size. Right. Like that. Come on. There, that's good. And that's now it's a little off. Hold on, I'm just trying to make this thing right. There we go. That's good. All right, so I got this thing. So let's go edit cut. And let's go to artboards. And let's, oh, I actually I got 3. I want 4 artboards. Let's make another artboard. File, new artboard. All right, and let's come over and find that new artboard right there. There's my new artboard. Let's make that artboard bigger. This one artboard is going to be pretty big. And the reason it's going to be pretty big is because I'm about to put, I'm about to do a 3D render on this job right here.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just going to go edit, paste. There it is. Okay, whoop, Control Z. I still got that tool. There we go. All right, so now I got my object, and I'm going to go into the Effect menu, and I'm going to go 3D, Extrude and Bevel. And I am going to, for the time being, leave it. You know, I think maybe I'd like to turn it this way. Let's get this thing. Let's preview it. There we go. And let's see if I can get this thing standing the way I want it to stand. I want it to be kind of straight up and standing. Let's go a little bit more like that. That's pretty good. And let's go into perspective and let's knock some of this perspective out. That's too much. And that's too much. That's probably pretty good right there. Okay? Probably a little bit too much anyway. Let me bring it back just a bit. That's probably good. That's good. Okay, so I got the perspective. I got the angle I want. I need this thing to be a little bit deeper, so I'm going to go 100 and see how that works. And it probably could be a little bit thicker, so let's go 125. All right, so this making sense to you so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now I got this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right into Map Art, and I've got the front surface. So there's the front surface, right?
Right.
Come in here, and I'm going to find my front. And there my front is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by going scale to fit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, let's see, yeah. See, I got this white thing happening over here. So what I have to do to get rid of that is I have to just drag that out until it hits that edge. But you probably aren't going to have that happen. It just happens that my art has that white thing there. See what it is?
Right.
About?
Yeah.
You probably aren't going to have that problem. All right, so I'm going to hit OK on this, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to hit OK on this, and we're going to stop for a minute. I'm going to go back here and look at my symbols. Okay, so I don't know whether you remember or not, but remember that symbol right there?
Yeah, the spine.
Yeah, the spine's got to be revolved. I have to turn it around in order to make that work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to select this thing. There we go. And I got to do this with it.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, and go back. Okay, now what I can do is, if I'm not mistaken, I can come in here to my appearance panel. There we go. All right, and I'm going to go 3D Extrude and Bevel. Preview it, and go into Map Art, and let's see if I can find that edge. Come in and find that edge. Oops, before I go, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Back, there's the edge. See it?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for when you do this. You're looking for that highlighting.
Right.
Okay, and then you're just going to come in here and get that spine. And the spine comes in. And if you want, just hit scale to fit. That looks pretty good.
Yep.
And then let's go to the back. 5, 6. That's the top. That's the front. Let's see, 6, What are we on here? 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 2 of 6, 2 of 6. There you go. Now let's put the back on. And scale to fit. I don't know. Yeah, I got the same issue with this. So let's get it in position right there. That's probably good. Now let's see. If I drag this thing over here like this. There we go. Okay. And hit.
Okay.
Okay. I couldn't find it. Now I have this, and what I can do, just for the heck of this, is I can start playing with the rotations. So there's a front rotation, and there is a back. And as you can see, the graphics are there. The graphics are backwards. So I'm going to hit OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my symbols, and I'm going to select this, select this, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to reflect it.
Oh, I see.
I got to reflect it. There. And hit OK. And then I can go back into my appearance. Oh, I got to go back out. Yeah. And I can click on, there we go. The Extrude and Bevel. Oh, come on. There we go. Preview. Okay, there. Now that's better, except
Turn that air on for a little bit.
Yeah, I have to adjust it. So let's see. I'm going to come over.
Yeah.
I'm going to come over here like this, and I'm going to move it. Oh, come on. Oh, geez. Boy, this thing, when it's stubborn, it's stubborn. I have to tell you. See, it's like frozen now. There we go. All right, get that up there in place. There we go. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to adjust that until it's on there, about like that. There we go. And hit OK. And now back, and then there's left. Nothing on the left. Let's go to right. And there's your spine.
Right.
And if I come in here, I start going to off-axis front. There you go. And see, nothing on that spine.
Right.
If I go off-axis back, there's your spine and your back view. But see, this is still funky. I don't know why that is. I'm going to have to go in there and have to map art. I have to fix that again. Let's see what's happening with this thing. This is 1, 2. There it is right there. So what's going on with this? Okay, so that's got to go there. All right, so that goes like that.
Almost done.
Yeah. There we go. And now let's hit okay with that, see if that's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so you see what I'm saying is there's your back.
Right.
Side. That's what you want. You want to show me the back and the side. Hit OK. And then I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to edit. Let's go. Edit copy. Oh. Edit copy. Edit paste. Is it not? Oh, here we go. Okay, there it is. Now bring that over here. And what I want to do with this is 3D Bevel and preview it. What I want to do is I want to change the rotation angle from off-axis right. There we go. And probably make it a little bit less extreme. Bring it like this and make it a little bit less extreme. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. There. Check it out. So you're looking to do something like that. Hit OK. Close that.
Yeah,
so
looks good.
In the end, that is basically what you want to be doing.
Okay.
Now, like I say, I'm going to do this all over again tomorrow so that you can actually see me do this a number of times so that you have a very clear idea of how this is going to go. All you're going to do is you're going to correct your piece. If you want to get it correct and if you want to send it to me and let me know it's ready, I will be more than happy to take a look at it tomorrow night in class again.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you an email when I go and post.
Okay.
Well, I have to fix it and then submit my assessment.
Yeah.
So.
But fine, I think you're basically shaping up all right. You're not behind. You haven't lost anything, so you're making progress, which is good.
Yeah, I'm just tired in the evening because I've got I'm so busy during the day.
Yeah. Well, you're almost over with this. We got a couple of days, a couple of little things to do, and you're done.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So I guess that's it. I'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully.
Yep, I'll be there.
Okay, very good. You have a good night.
All right, you too. Thank you, Mr. Sweeney.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.